Hey guys, and welcome back to another video here on my channel, where today we will be looking at my Warzone loadouts. So before we get into it, I'll just say most of these are meta loadouts now, so a lot of people are using these. You may have seen them before, and you know, there may be things that you hate about them and you want to change, but these are the loadouts that I do use. Around here on screen somewhere, I have some timestamps to tell you when the classes are. So if there's a specific class that you want to look at or use, you can just definitely go and see that on the time frame. So I guess we'll start from the top. We have the M13. All my classes, my Warzone classes, have these little hyphens next to them, just so I can really quickly, once I open the loadout drop, just go and click on them. But we'll go through them really quickly because there is like 5. We have the M13. I use the M13 because like this class is a 0 recoil. I use monolithic suppressor on every single class. The Tempest Marksman, we use that. It does damage, range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. This class is just literally set up to be the most overpowered low recoil thing ever. The fire rate on this gun is really good as well. So you know that's one of the good reasons why it's good for Warzone, and obviously it's got a good range on it as well. The sight is obviously up to you, and if you don't want to use a sight, maybe the sleight of hand or a grip, but I use the sight because it's a good sight. 60 round mags, some people use 50s, it doesn't matter, it's personal preference. And commando foregrip, so that's the setup for that class. Honestly, it's like a 0 recoil gun. Then onto the M4. I use the M4 XRK. If you have this variant, I recommend you use it because the iron sights are nicer than the iron sights on the standard M4. We're going into this again, monolithic suppressor. I use this on everything. It's so good. And then basically it's just a very basic setup that everyone uses. Like it doesn't require explaining. You can change the barrel to maybe like the commando foregrip or the Merc foregrip. But honestly, again, 50 round mags you could use as well. I would take the rubberized grip tape off and put a sight on it if you are someone that doesn't like iron sights. But if you don't mind the iron sights, then definitely use the rubberized grip tape. So that is for the M4. Oh, and I've also forgot to say, I use cold-blooded and ghost on all of these classes. And then obviously these are up to you, whether you use lethal or heartbeat sensor or whatever. Those are entirely up to you. I just use these, and I'm using an RPG on every single class. The reason being is because people run me over with vehicles all the time and it gets me so freaking triggered. So I use an RPG on literally every single class. On like the Jeeps and stuff, it's a 1-hit kill, and on the Big Bertha, the big truck that people have to climb in the back of, it's a 2-hit kill, I think, or at least a 2-hit to like stop it working or whatever. So yeah, I use the RPG. I'm that guy. I used to hate it. I still hate it, but I use it because it works. So yeah, that's kind of meta at the moment. And I use C4 for the same reason, blowing up vehicles and stuff like that. So easy. But yeah, that's on all the classes, as you can see. So then we go on to the short range class. So this is my close range class. This is if I'm playing in trios or squads and the other guys are using M4s and stuff. Then I'll probably switch over to this, so we've got a little bit of versatility in the team. So again, monolithic. I need to get that right. Monolithic suppressor. Again, every class. The FSS strike. It gives me damage, range, bullet velocity. Again, we need some range with this gun, but then we have no stock for mobility. Mobility is key when you're using like an SMG. There's no point using an SMG if you're not going to use mobility, right? You know, have high mobility. The stipple grip tape. Again, ADS speed, sprint to fire speed. We need that the speed of the. We need to sort of abuse the speed of an SMG in Warzone because not many people actually use SMGs. And then the Merc foregrip again, just for a little bit of stability for aiming. You are going to come into those long range gunfights, but most of them are going to be close range if you're using this. You know, if you're using, like I said, if you're using this when the rest of your team are using M4s and snipes and stuff, the chances are that you're going to take the shorter gunfights and you're going to be rushing in. But that is just an OP class. It's so good. It's almost 0 recoil as well. And it's just so quick, as you can see by the stats down here. I just realized that my camera's in the way, but it's no stock here, as you can see anyway. You can already see it. Again, I use EOD on this class because I'm going to be like running and stuff like that. But again, Ghost is the key to this. And then I use C4, RPG, and heartbeat sensor again. On some of these classes, I used to use stun grenade on this class because like I'll probably be rushing a lot with this class, so kind of makes sense, right? And then on to the Growl. This gun is freaking disgusting, like literally disgusting. Again, monolithic suppressor, can't really go wrong with it. The Tempest 26.4. The reason I use this one is, one, because it does bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil, but it has a specific iron sight on where it's literally just like a really little it literally looks like a fucking paperclip, and it's so good. Like, it's incredible. Like, it's one of the best iron sights in the game. So I definitely recommend you use that barrel, even if you don't use any of the other things on here. Again, no stock. We got it up here. You can't see a stock on there. We use no stock for a little bit of mobility. I mean, it kicks a few things down, but movement speed and ADS speed, you know, get a little bit of like, because otherwise it would be a very slow gun. You'd almost be wanting to use like an LMG, you know. So you know, we're using the no stock there. I go with 50 round mag instead of 60s, purely because it just gives you a little bit more mobility. That is the only reason. And then Commando foregrip. I always use a foregrip on almost every weapon. This one just so happens to be the Commando foregrip. If you use the Merc foregrip or the Ranger foregrip, they're very similar, but they usually damage your ADS speed, I think. And obviously I don't want to be wanting that. And then again, RPG, cold-blooded and ghost this time. We have a Semtex on this one. Don't really know why I've got that. I usually use C4. And then the stun grenade again. I differ between the stun grenade and heartbeat sensor. The reason is, sometimes my team's using heartbeat sensor, so there's no point having four of us having heartbeat sensor. You're probably better off having 2 heartbeat sensors or 1 heartbeat sensor, you know. So that kind of makes sense. And then my HDR class. I mean, I'm not the biggest sniper. I don't usually snipe. If I use a sniper in Warzone, it's probably one that I've picked up of an enemy I've killed. But I will show you my class anyway. Again, monolithic suppressor. It has to be. Every time I say that really quick, I fuck it up. Monolithic suppressor. The barrel is the 26.9. Again, it's all about damage range and stuff with the snipers, I feel. The variable zoom scope. I don't really use the thermal scope, because when I'm zoomed in, I lose like my sense of time and direction almost. Like, I can be literally sitting there looking for a little white mark for a long time and forget that people can have cold-blooded and I won't see them. So I tend to do worse with it. So I use the variable zoom. And then I didn't really have too much of like a choice on there. And then FMJ, just for the war bongs. But that is basically it. I mean, I have a pistol on that one because you don't really stand much of a chance with a sniper. I'd rather have a pistol, something I can actually put fire shots at. And then I used to use Claymore on here as well, but again, it's up to you. But yeah, that is basically all my class setups. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped. If it did, smash that like button. Again, at the start of the video, all the timestamps will be on screen, so just go back and check them. You can have a look at all the weapons. But before you go into the description. My Twitch, my Discord, my Twitter, all that good stuff is all down there, including my Instagram as well. I'm live a lot of the time on Twitch. If you follow my Twitter, you will know when I am live. But thanks so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope it helped, and you'll get those dubs. So without further ado, see you later. Peace.